Hi, this is Vishal Nadapura. I welcome you in a lecture series of fluid mechanics. We were discussing about the fluid kinematics, in which in previous session we have seen what is fluid kinematics, then two types of method to describe velocity and acceleration of the particle, which was Lagrangian method and Euler method. Lagrangian method is not widely used, but in most of the cases, or most researchers are using Lagrangian, Eulerian method. Then we have seen the types of flow, which was steady flow, unsteady flow, uniform flow, non-uniform flow, 1, 2, and 3-dimensional flow, rotational flow, irrotational flow, then compressible flow and incompressible flow. Today, we are going to look at types of flow line, discharge, continuity equation in 3-dimensional coordinate Cartesian coordinate system and 2-dimensional Cartesian coordinate system. So let's start with the types of flow line. There are very number of ample number of particle will move simultaneously in any fluid flow. So in this case, we can get many types of flow line, but we are discussing a few of them here. In which very first is the path line. Sorry, here it is the path line. So path line is the path followed by a fluid particle in motion. So here in figure you can see there are three different particle and the motion of the three particle. Here the particle one will move along this path. Say it is in a random path. So here you can say it may be a case of turbulent flow, because if it is in laminar flow, then all these particle have motion with parallel to each other. Then the particle 2 have a different motion in this direction, particle 3 have a different motion in this direction. So the particle or the path followed by the particle is called as a path line, and the line passing from this is called a path line. Then next is the streamline. So streamline is an imaginary line within the flow, so that the tangent at any point on it indicates the velocity at that point. So this is an imaginary line. Here you can say there are five number of particles. So this is the particle number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So all these particles have a motion in this direction, and at this particular position, let's for the point number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, all these particles have a direction of velocity in this direction. And when you draw a line tangent to this velocity direction, this line is called as a streamline. So streamline is not a physical line; it is just an imaginary line or hypothetical line, which indicates the velocity of flow at velocity of fluid particle at each and every point of time or each and every location. So by this way, if you want to describe the three-dimensional flow in terms of streamline, then the equation may be a dx sorry dx divided by velocity that direction, which is u, equal to dy divided by v, equal to dz divided by w. So this may be the equation of streamline. Always it gives the velocity or the tangential velocity. So here, if we want to note some point about the streamline and path line, then the two streamline or the any streamline cannot intersect each other at any point, because let's suppose what happen if we intersect. Suppose this is the streamline of the particle 1, and this is the streamline another streamline. If the streamline 2 is not like this, and it will intersect here. So at this point or the intersection point, the particle have a two different velocity in two different direction, which is practically not possible. So the streamline cannot intersect each other. Then there cannot be movement of any particle across the streamline. So any particle, we cannot have a movement like this. So this is another point which we can note it here. then the spacing of the streamline is inversely vary with respect to the velocity. So let's suppose try to understand. Uh, this is an any convergence section like here, and the velocity of the fluid is in this direction, left to right, and in this case uh, all the streamline will gather here like this. So the distance between these two streamline is larger in comparison with this here, as the converging section is here and the area is reducing. So the velocity v2 or the velocity outlet is higher than the velocity inlet. So from here to here the velocity will increases, but the distance between these two streamline are decreasing. So this way we can say it have a relation, inverse relation with respect to the velocity. Here, one another point can be noted that the path line gives the path of any particular particle at successive instance of the time, whereas the streamline indicates the direction of a number of particles at a time. So here you can say, here the path line will indicate motion or the path of any one particle at a time. Whereas here, if you noted, at any section of the time or at any section of the pipe or any flow, the streamline will give you the direction of all the particle or the motion of the direction of all particle simultaneously. So by this way, this point to be noted here, uh, discussed previously about the path line and streamline. Now let's see another line, which is the stream tube. It is not a line, but actually it is an stream tube is the fluid mass bounded by the group of streamline. So this is not considered under the category of line, but let's suppose there are few streamlines here, and if you consider as a one tube of this all streamline, then this is called as a stream tube, or the in another or layman term we can say it is a bunch of streamline. And stream tube also consider also contain a stream tube surface also, because outer surface of here it is considered as a stream tube surface. It does not have any particular physical parameter, but it is considered as a stream tube surface. Then let's see another type of line, which is the streak line. Streak line is a curve which gives an instantaneous picture of a location of the fluid particle which have passed through a given point. So in figure you can say here, let's suppose it is a smoke generator, and smoke is generated and is flowing from to the nozzle, and smoke is passing from all the point, passing from here, and all particle will move after coming out from this nozzle. So here you can see it will indicate the path of the every particle which must have passed from a single or a particular point. So this all the points, say 1, 2, 3. Here you can say this is the point 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All the particle must pass from to the here. If particle may pass here like this, say all this particle in this condition may be here, here and here and here and like this, then the streak line may be a like this. So streak line is an imaginary or instantaneous picture of all the particle passing from a particular location. So there are these three type of line: streamline, path line, streamline, and streak line. Then we will move on another part or next part, which is the discharge or a rate of flow. So rate of flow is defined as the quantity of the liquid flowing per second of flowing per second through a section of pipe, and it is generally denoted by Q. So let's suppose consider a one pipe is here, and rate of flow, say it is the volume flow per unit time. Say volume is passing, let's suppose there are 10 liter of volume passing from here per time. say in 1 second there are 10 liter of volume is passing from this section. So the discharge Q, we can say the volume divided by time. So it is equal to 10 liter divided by time, say it is 1 second, so the discharge will be 10, and the unit must be a volume divided by time, and the volume is meter here liter. It is a smaller unit, and larger unit is meter cube here. So the unit will be a meter cube per second. And if we consider this here, then it will be a 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube per second. So this is the rate of flow, or in other terms it is also called as a volume flow rate, because it will indicate the volume flow per unit time. Then let's consider a continuity equation. A continuity equation is generally based on the principle of conservation of mass. Say mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. But here we have to consider it is in the fluid perspective. So let's suppose the fluid is flying in the pipe, and Q1 amount of fluid is entering from the left hand side, and Q2 amount of fluid is entering from the right hand side. But if you will not add any other fluid or any quantity in this pipe, or do not subtract any quantity of fluid from that pipe, then Q1 must be equal to the Q2. That is called as a conservation of mass. If you do not add or do not remove any amount of pipe, any amount of liquid from the pipe, then it will, the amount of flow or the volume flow rate will does not change. That is called as a continuity equation. And from this equation, if we consider the continuity equation, then continuity equation Q equal to area into velocity in times density. Here, if we apply this equation, Q1 equal to Q2 at section 1 and section 2, then it will be a area A1 at section 1 or inlet, and A1 V1 rho 1 equal to A2 V2 and rho 2. So here, as per the conservation of mass, it does not change here. So A1 V1 rho 1 equal to A2 V2 rho 2 for the compressible fluid. But if you consider the fluid flowing is incompressible, so rho 1 does not change, density does not change with respect to the location or inlet and outlets. And we can take rho 1 equal to rho 2, and we get the equation A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. This is nothing but the continuity equation for incompressible flow. If you consider the change in compressibility, then you have to consider A1 V1 rho 1 equal to A2 V2 rho 2. Here another point is noted there here, which is A1 V1 is nothing but the Q or Q1 here. So this equation you can may write like this: Q1 times rho 1 equal to Q2 times Q2 times rho 2, which is nothing but the multiplication of volume with the time. So this quantity simultaneously will become the mass flow rate. Mass flow rate at inlet and mass flow rate at outlet. So by this way, or this equation we will mostly use, because in most of the cases we will consider the fluid flow is incompressible. So A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. Now let's try to derive this. We have derived for the one-dimensional flow, but if the flow is in three-dimensional, then let's derive the equation in three-dimensional Cartesian coordinate system. This is the one control volume considered here, and with the dimension dx in the x direction, dy in the y direction, and dz in the z direction. Let's consider this is the control volume, and with that, for the sake of simplicity or for the sake of understanding, easy understanding, let's consider the left hand side is ABCD and the right hand side is EFGH, and accordingly we will consider the dimension of the size. Then for the continuity equation, let's consider the rate of mass fluid entering in the site ABCD and the rate of fluid mass leaving the site EFGH. So according to the definition of continuity equation, it is nothing but the rho into velocity into area. So rho is the density of the fluid. Here velocity, let's consider velocity is u in the x direction, in y direction it is v, and in z direction is w. And let's consider rho is the delta. So rate of mass of flow is rho AV. According to the rho AV, rho times velocity in x direction, u, because here we have considered flow in the x direction only. So rho into u into area. Area is dy dz. So here length is dy and height is dz of this ABCD. So this is the amount of the rate, this is the amount of mass entering into the phase ABCD. Let's consider the amount of mass exit from the side EFGH. Here we don't know exactly whether the mass is coming from this side or the mass leaving from this side. So we have to consider the rate of change of mass in particular direction, say here in x direction. As we have seen in the derivation of the Pascal's law, here again, let's take the partial derivation of this quantity or of this mass entering the side ABCD. So here again, take the partial derivation with respect to x direction. So del by del x into that particular quantity is rho u into dy dz times the distance. Here we have taken the distance already, which is a dx. So this is the rate of change of, this is the difference of mass of fluid, and already this type of mass is entering. So the total mass leaving from this side EFGH is the summation of this plus this. So the summation is rho u dy dz plus del by del x into rho u dy dz into dx. This is nothing but the rate of change of mass in x direction per unit time. Not time, it is the rate. So already it is an time. So this is the inlet inside ABCD, this is the outlet, and the side EFGH. If we take the difference of both these two, then we get the mass accumulation in the x direction. So the mass accumulation will be a this minus this whole term, then you will get this two term will cancel out, and remaining term is negative of del by del x into rho u dx dy dz. So this is the total mass accumulation in x direction. The same way we can consider the entry for the y direction. Say entry point is entry side is ADHE and outlet side is BCGF from here and from here. The same way we can consider in z direction also. The for z direction, entry side is CDHG and outlet side is BFEA. So by this way we can calculate the mass accumulation in x, y and z direction also. So here we calculated the accumulation of mass in y direction and accumulation of mass in z direction. And so by summing of all these three, we get the total accumulation of in all control volume, which is the summation of all these three, which is noted here like this. But this is exactly how much it is equal to the rate of change of mass in the control volume, and that we can denote it as a rate in rate form del by del t, del into dx dy dz. So by equating these two terms, by equating these two terms and neglecting the common factor from both the side, we get the equation like this: del by del x of rho u, del by del y of rho v, del by del z of rho w, plus del rho by del t equal to 0. So this is the after simplification. But if you consider the incompressible flow, then rho is constant, and constant parameter we can take common from all this term, and this term will be 0 because derivation of constant term will be 0. So we get the three-dimensional Cartesian coordinate system for incompressible and steady flow. So this is 3 dimension. If we consider the two-dimensional flow, then third dimension will be third term will be 0, and we get the equation of del u by del x plus del v by del y equal to 0. So this is the three-dimensional Cartesian coordinate, and this is the two-dimensional Cartesian coordinate. Sorry, this is the continuity equation in two-dimensional Cartesian coordinate system. So that is all for friends. Let's summarize what we have seen today. We have started with the types of line. We have seen 3 types of line: path line, streamline, streak line, and another definition also, which was stream tube. Then we have seen the definition of discharge and continuity equation. We have derived a continuity equation for one-dimensional flow, say rho 1 a1 v1 equal to rho 2 a2 v2. And if we consider this equation for incompressible flow, then rho 1 equal to rho 2, then equation will become a1 v1 equal to a2 v2. Then lastly, we have derived the equation of equation in Cartesian coordinate system. Continuity equation in Cartesian coordinate system for two-dimensional and three-dimensional system. So thank you, friends.